Okay. Yeah. And what's the portal thing?
Crow's Mantle can just basically teleport into a room with anyone he wants if he marks a doom sign or doom track, right?
Okay.
Dooming it up.
So we've got several scenes we want to start off with heading back into things, but first, wanted to check in with Jackrabbit because you know this massive electrical thing was not your fault, right?
Obviously.
So what are you doing to go clear your name? As it were, or just investigate whatever it is that's going wrong?
Now let's see. I know Bravencia knows how this electrical stuff works. Kind of halfway convinced it's just some kind of magic. But like I should probably ask Bravencia. And then if she doesn't know, I can always just go to Crow's Mantle. And one of them can explain it.
So you think you'd run into them at Crow's Mantle's base, as it were?
It would be handy if you were approaching just as I was rushing out, because then I could try to enlist you to come along while you tell me about this issue.
Oh, Bravencia! Everything electrical just went...
I noticed. Gideon, we'll report back. 'Cause I was just sort of rushing out of his house.
Bye, Gideon. We'll hang later. Got some important stuff right now.
Sure. I'm sure we will. I'm sure that's not just another lie.
Bravencia sighs and then carries on. Boys will be boys, as it were. Jackrabbit, do you know the cause of the electrical outage?
I know that it wasn't me, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far.
Well, that's one more bit of knowledge than nothing. I'm going to keep the "if that is the truth" part in my own brain and not say it out loud to Jackrabbit. Well, then I'm sure you're just as interested as I am in the power sources in this town and what might be going wrong, and perhaps you could come along with me, since you are so good at fighting things like that beast that you fought for 3 days and definitely didn't make out with.
Yep.
I am going to where I think Crow's Mantle's uncle might be going to charge, whatever the heck evil uncles charge. But he needed a power source, and I think I figured out where one is, and I'm on my way there. And maybe that has something to do with the electricity as well. Yes, but Bravenska doesn't fully believe in magic. Sorry, just responding to something in the chat. Bravenska is not fully convinced it's not just a form of science she hasn't discovered yet. But I was just going to send a toast to Esther, because if anybody could use a little bit less liveliness, I feel like it's Gideon's Uncle Thad. But also, maybe you could kick him a bit. What say you?
You want me to kick Gideon or kick
No,
his
Jackrabbit.
uncle?
I want
Oh
Jackrabbit.
yeah, I can manage that.
So come with me.
What are feet if not like the fists of the legs?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. You were so fighty. And I'll toast Esther right now, and then if you come with me and I toast her and she shows up, we'll all meet at, what was the place that I got from the wall?
The big electrical interchange, where they'll be connecting the power lines from the dam to
the dam.
The cities.
That was it. So we'll all meet at the electrical interchange at the dam, and you'll kick, and hopefully Esther will drain, and I will maybe swap around some cables in a fancy, brainy way, and we'll be one step closer to Gideon not being a flock of birds. Your enthusiasm is less staggering than I was hoping.
No,
but
I was just like thinking, like, dude, what would we call him then once he became the flock of birds?
Probably Crow's Mantle.
Like,
I mean,
would
he
each
could
of them have
literally
their
be a
own name
mantle.
then, or we still just call them like collectively Gideon?
I feel like letting people self-identify is really important, and that we should be leaving that up to Crow's Mantle and not assigning an identity.
Okay, right.
You know, I mean, well, we'll talk about it. Jackrabbit, we have an objective here. Okay, let's keep going, and we're walking over. I'm gonna toast. Yeah. Oh, sorry, the cat just terrified me. That was okay. Not having a heart attack. It's just the cat. Hello, Pablo. Thank you for knocking everything off the table. Esther, you will be receiving a toast that has a rabbit and a piece of toast, which is how I self-identify in icon form. An arrow. What is a symbol for a dam?
A electrical symbol, like a little lightning
Oh yeah,
bolt.
a lightning bolt for the power interchange, and then I'm not sure what symbol to put for you. A teacup, maybe. I'm going to focus on the teacups, with a circle around it and a question mark. And hopefully you can identify that whole sequence, because this is how Brevencia speaks via toast, and you may or may not get it. That Jackrabbit and I are heading to the electric place. You, circled with a question mark, will you come, right? Will you also be at the electric place? You are muted.
Do I send toast back? Or do I receive the toast, interpret the toast, and act accordingly?
You can do either. Typically, the toasts have not been quite so complicated because they've just been like rallying the whole team to one place. So I think probably some sort of affirmative toast would be appreciated, but I don't know that we've actually programmed them to be two-way toast communications. I'm not sure.
So I'm still sitting at the tea shop. I will spread the toast liberally with some clotted cream and lemon curd. I will eat the toast and finish my tea, and then I shall go out of the tea shop and hail an omnibus.
So where are you headed?
I am headed to the electrical substation.
Okay. Just wanted to check in case I wasn't sure if you would be talking to some of your villain contacts before you arrive.
Can I tell from the toast whether this is urgent or sometime this afternoon?
I think all toasts read as urgent because it's just, ping, got this bread message.
Okay, I will go and visit old acquaintances after the substation.
Fair enough. And as this happens, Crow's Mantle, you said you were going to portal over to Squall?
Yeah. So Squall, where are you going as you head out of the tea shop?
I was, let's see, in my itinerary, in Squall's itinerary, all right, make sure someone's looking after that plot thread. Her next plot thread, she was going to follow her next impulse, which is look after her team. And there is a list of priority, and I don't know if Crow's Mantle wants to see that, because I don't know if he'd be disappointed in that list of priorities. She doesn't literally have a list, but in her mind, she's like, okay, all right, I gotta talk to this person, So she's heading to her car.
Yeah, I think like on your way to your car, you literally bump into Crow's Mantle, who is just like reformed right in front of you. Oh, sorry, Squall.
Crow's Mantle, how did you?
I don't know.
At the sky.
I was just thinking about you, and then I was here very suddenly.
Wait. You were just here. I've never seen you do that.
Me neither. And I'm like looking suspiciously at like one of the birds, still like fluttering around me, and I'm like, they didn't used to have these eyes either. And I just like poke at the like weird little amethyst eyes stuck in the heads of these birds.
That's not good. Um, yeah, usually I'd have a good sense of when you're coming because birds. She makes a flapping gesture. Um, but now that you can, well,
Very funny.
well, it's not. It's not funny. This doesn't seem funny. Are you okay?
Why didn't you come to the mansion when I sent you a message?
I think her face gets all stricken, and she's like, I'm sorry. I got the message. Well, it was in the middle of another appointment. Sorry, I've been running. I've been busy these past couple of
Is
days.
it Black Moth? She's giving you all these assignments.
Not, not exactly, really. I just decided to put myself in her shoes and further see how she would go about her business, which in my mind translated to efficiently with as little fuss as possible. So I woke up very early today and I composed an itinerary, and you and it involved talking to Esther, making sure that the car. She points to the car. It's working. It's just
That's pretty impressive, but you know you don't have to be her, right?
well, how else could I be? She's incredibly successful at what she does. I'm sure if she were here instead of me, I'm sure she would have figured something about your problem. I'm sure she would have.
Maybe. But I just it was everybody looks at you like they don't see you, like they're just thinking about her, and they talk to you like you're just a conduit to her. But I want you to know I care about you for you.
I think you're trying to comfort and support.
Yes, I am.
Roll plus mundane.
Hey, and thanks to your label shifting last session, I actually have some mundane to use here. Squall. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say we've had one success
Oh
this
boy.
entire night.
Well, that is a 6.
Do you have influence over me?
I think I do. Yes, I have influence over you.
There we go.
Up to a 7.
In that case, on a hit, they hear you. Mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels. If they open up to you, do you open up to him?
Yeah, I think he says like how Gideon says like how he sees Squall. I think Squall lets out this kind of like shuddering sort of breath that she didn't realize she was holding in. And I think like breathing a bit hard, and it's like I until now I didn't even think I cared about that, to be honest. I think I think until now I would have been fine people seeing Black Moth through me because maybe it means I'm doing good. I'm becoming as good a hero as her. So I don't know what I think. Like her voice kind of gets a bit more curious. I mean, what do you see that's not her?
I mean, you have the wind powers, and you're nice. I think Black Moth is a impressive lady, but she's not very nice to people.
I think I'm doing the same vulnerable team move. So I think, yeah, Skull's ready to like just dish about.
Yeah, vulnerability time.
Yeah, and I think like Skull is kind of looking down. It's like, no, she's not terribly nice at times. I mean, she means well. I suppose she looks out for the city, but I don't see her hanging out with folks like you or Jackrabbit, or even just hanging out.
And you got through to Crucible when we were fighting at uh, Rangerwood. Black Moth would have just beaten the villain up, but you actually made a connection, and maybe Crucible can be brought back to the side of good.
I think like you mentioned Crucible, and like Squall's like, all right, I still have to talk to them. And then you can see like she's starting to fret again. It's like, oh, thanks for reminding me about that. Crow's Mental. I need to talk to Crucible.
Do you want backup?
No, it's well.
I'm trying to distract myself because Prevencia's investigating something, and she told me not to come along.
Well, why would you say that?
She thinks something's gonna go wrong, but I told her if she's in danger, she has to let me know so I can help. I don't know. She was looking at my uncle's notes and had one of those, light bulb go off moments. Ironically, as I look up at the places where all of the street lamps have exploded.
Yeah, I think Sean notices that as well, and she's like, "Well, do you think she's going to be in danger?"
I sort of suspect it's possible. I think Jackrabbit's with her though, so he can take the brunt of it. I'm sure that'll be fine.
I think that's a good maybe cutaway line with a "that'll be fine." So yeah, Esther, I think we can cut to you arriving at the interchange. Jackrabbit and Proventia, feel free to arrive whenever you'd like, because just whenever it feels dramatic or appropriate. And yeah, Esther, as you get close, you actually see a group of people, sort of an angry crowd, has already gathered there, kind of angrily yelling like, "You burst my lights! The fires, the damages. It's causing problems." Yelling at the hero the genius inventor Flashbulb, who was nominally in charge. Sorry, just reading the chat. Flashbulb has been nominally in charge of the new electrical system, and people are sort of angrily yelling at that. And
I don't blame them.
As you're looking around at the crowd, you see one of your old villain contacts kind of lurking in the shadows, looking on. We can introduce an existing NPC, like Crucible, even if you'd like, or
I don't know any of them, so you pick.
Yeah, let's say Crucible is looking on, and Crucible, their backstory is they were a Bronze Age villain turned anti-hero turned back to villain when they realized, or they decided that robber barons were the real criminals.
Okay.
They wear, basically sort of big, heavy leather, like metalworking clothes with a welder's mask over their face. And so they're your contact. You get to choose, like, what's their specialty for you? Weapons, materials, cosmic artifacts, alien tech, or insider info?
I would say insider info.
That makes sense.
Okay. And so I will I imagine that I am really good at just flowing through the crowd. People kind of part around me, and I just move through the crowd. I am moving toward Crucible, And I have my head down. I look up, and can I see through his welder's mask to a face?
Yes, and you can just get a glimpse through the mask, and you've seen it before, and they're pretty badly burned under there. It's burned enough. No one's quite sure who they were before all this. But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But I would like to lock eyes and then just nod my head in this way. Meet me over here.
Yes, Crucible slips off to join you.
Okay. It's been a long time, Crucible.
Hey, Esther. Nice to see you around here. Coming to investigate the happenings, too?
Of course. It was quite a show last night. I don't think that it was just an excess of energy from that falls up north. I think something else is going on. What do you think? What do you know?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Flashbulb, they got the contract for this. Their lab, you might have heard, they've got all the bright lights of the city working for them. Promised to have this all wired up and running perfectly last year, and they're still having problems. They're still having these street lamps frickin' explode right on cue. Flashbulb's in trouble.
Crucible. Fine. Flashbulb's in trouble. Now, is he in trouble because the technology that he's trying to create isn't quite ready? Or is it because he needs more power for something else?
They're gonna perk up at that. Have you heard something? What else could Flashbulb need? Who could pay them better than the city and all the corporate fat cats?
Oh, you just stop that. City? What money does this city have? No, I know that there's lots of others that could pay him far better. And who knows if he's even in it for the money. There might be something more valuable than just cash.
Well, now that you mention it, I have noticed there's been a certain trend of bright young minds and promising new gadgeteer heroes showing up and heading off to work with Flashbulb, and then they just kind of fade away. They're not seen
What do you mean,
again.
fade away? Disappear?
They stop making headlines. They stop appearing in public. They just don't make any more appearances.
Well, does that mean that they're hard at work in the bowels of the city? Or does that mean that they are gone?
Oh, Flashbulb insists they're just working hard, but they're doing just fine at a wonderful farm upstate.
At this point, Brevencia and Jackrabbit, should Stephen be all right with that, show up as if on cue when talking about bright young minds who might disappear shortly. Oh, Esther, I'm so glad you made it.
Is Crucible still there or around?
Yes, yeah, you can see them.
Yeah, hey, Crusader, Crucy, how you doing? We punched you out that one time, if you recall. Good times.
I roll my eyes and look at Crucible.
Jackrabbit, I remember you showing up. I don't remember you actually landing a hit.
Oh, was it because I also grabbed your mask off you at the time? Yeah, that would be embarrassing, I know.
Crucible just rips their mask off, throws it on the ground, full, burned face on view. You want to finish this, Jackrabbit? Come on. I'm sick of you.
All right, boys. We have bigger concerns right now. Did they both really just stop? Because that's very handy, but not expected.
No, I mean, like, look, we'll handle this, and then we can go in and do your thing, Prevencia. I'm sure this will only take me like a couple minutes.
Jackrabbit,
I'm-
Prevencia, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. And I go over to Crucible. I know Crucible is flustered, perhaps even upset. I pull off my glove and I touch his face. And he feels a surge of health and well-being. It will not heal his old scars, but he feels better. And I say, and I kind of put my face close to his and say, "Thank you, darling. Until the next time."
They nod, give you a little like wave, and then just sort of drift off, casting a glare back at Jackrabbit, mouthing "next time."
And I come back over. Jackrabbit, do you have to instigate and aggravate and
I was
irritate?
being friendly.
Oh,
Half of my
friendly.
I have punched out half of my friends. You can ask Crowsmantle. He'll support that.
I am so glad not to be counted as one of them. Interpret at will.
Esther, why you gotta be like that? Why? I think we're friends. We're friends. And I
Punch
kind
me.
of give
Go
you a
ahead.
smile. I give you a
Oh.
smile.
If being punched by you is the marker
Only
of friendship,
half of my friends. Only half of my friends have been punched by me. I did say that.
I look at
I
Prevencia.
appreciate
Prevencia, has he punched you?
he is not, and I appreciate it.
See? Crowsmantle punched me. I punched Crowsmantle. Squall punched me, and I have punched neither of you. 50-50.
I'm
So,
not. Anyway,
let me relay what I did learn, that there are quite a few of bright young things, shall we say. The intelligentsia of the city seems to be disappearing. And the way it was explained to me is that they go in but they don't come out. And that there's something nefarious happening to these intelligent engineer types. Preventia, I would recommend that you stay far from this setting. It seems to lure people just as yourself.
but Gideon's uncle. How are we gonna stop him? I came to help.
And as you all pause for a second into that quiet, you hear the big doors of the interchange open, and out steps Flashbulb. At this point, he's, getting fairly old by this point. Probably 50s or 60s from what you can tell of him. Fancy suit, mask, some gaudy... To modernize, they look like Christmas lights decorating the hems and the seams of the suit. Doing this big speech about it's all fine, just slight difficulties. It's all be wrapped up in a moment, and then more energy for brighter light and all the uses you could ever need. Cars flying down the street without all the horse waste and the fumes of gasoline. It'll be a bright new era ushered in by Flashbulb Industries. Better and forever. And then his eyes will land on you, Preventia. And he'll yell out, in fact, I have just now see one of the brightest young minds of this city who I invited to come help with this problem. Preventia the Brave. Why don't you come up on stage, Preventia?
Oh, I'm not a stage person. Goodness, how kind of you. But I'll watch
Jackrabbit
from
steps
here.
up on stage.
No, Oh, bother. So now Bravencia does go on stage because she's gotten Jackrabbit into this, so.
Give it a little bow to the audience.
Yes, she has a fan. Isn't that nice? But Provencia, who I've
You
invited
can
to
call
come,
me Jackrabbit.
I'm sure someone does. But Provencia, who I've invited to come help with this challenging new problem, has lent her brilliant new expertise. Say hello to the people, Provencia.
Hello! This is Jackrabbit. I wanted to reinforce self-identification matters.
Yep. I like just to like get work up the crowd. I like pick you up and like lift you up so they can see you. Also showing off a bit.
Provencia giggles like a schoolgirl because being picked up is fun.
Are the doors of the other, I don't know what to call it, the substation or are they open behind where he's introducing?
Yes.
Yeah, could I unleash my powers to distract the crowd with my being a annoying show off?
You know
I
what?
would
That
like-
sounds. Sorry. Yes.
I would like to just be unnoticeable, unassuming, and sneak my way right in the doors behind them.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have Jackrabbit roll to unleash his powers, and then we'll see how well that goes that way, as he offers the distraction.
Exactly. That sounds awesome.
Go ahead and roll plus freak.
And that is a 14. So like out of just before I ask further, how okay is Bravencia with being juggled?
Oh, I think Bravencia would find it absolutely delightful and be giggling
Okay,
and staring
yeah,
at me the whole
Jackrabbit,
time.
like I know that like Flashbulb just came up like this is going to be some scientific show, but now I'm just juggling Bravencia for the crowd. So
I think Bravencia has a very hearty sort of giggle that like is carrying as well. So
if you want to get on now, Flashbulb, feel free. I've got 2 hands.
it's so much fun! Yay!
Flashbulb just kind of, forces a fond smile as the crowd's, angry chanting turns to like cheers and applause at this display of physical skills. And Esther sneaks into the open doors behind everyone. And as you all, head in eventually, the crowds die down, you finish your performance, and you head into the building. I think we can cut back to Crow's Mantle and Squall. What have you been up to as this is going on?
Yeah, I think when Crow's Mantle like offered to like come talk with Crucible and Squall start fretting again, I think there's just like a moment where like she just stops and kind of like looks up at the sky. It's just it seems important, but I think I might not have the head for a confrontation or so at the moment. If that seems that I think saying that kind of makes her feel a bit feeble.
That's okay. It can wait, of course.
Do you mind if I ask something about your condition, Crow's Mantle?
Go for it.
When you transmute yourself into birds, how aware are you of being in the sky?
Oh, I mean, things are kind of blurry when I'm all birds. That's why I try to pull back together quickly. But yeah, I can look at things. If you need me to spy on something from above, I can do that.
No. I think for, if not the rest of the day, at least for the next 10 minutes, And I think like Squall like holds up a hand and she's still looking at the sky. Well, I'd like to invite you to see the city as I sometimes see it.
Oh, and like he blushes, but will like take her hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna lift off and hopefully hold on to Gideon. I'll just hang out in the sky a bit. I think like the way Skull doesn't really fly. This is more definitely like airbender style, where it's just kind of like she has to kind of keep floating and kind of like
Right.
keep holding people up with like gusts of air. Yes, it is absolutely. She's kind of show Gideon the world.
Oh, this is great. And he's like, oh wow, this is so weird doing this while you're a human. It's totally different.
Yeah, I think. Are you yelling that because we're in the air now?
Yes, yeah. It's, this is totally different doing this while you're a human.
Yeah, and I think like Skull hears that, and she's a bit more emboldened, and and I think she will kind of like. I think it is kind of like a big. I think she's not saying much, but I think she is kind of like kind of taking you around, seeing the city, seeing Halcyon City in this light, for sure. Which
is this a comfort and support for me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I just got a +2 to that one day, and I should use that. Okay. That is a 13.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Gideon's like, Squall, this is fantastic. See, Black Moth couldn't do this. She can't fly.
What?
I said this is fantastic.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's land, and then we'll have a conversation. I think we'll land like at the top of the church where I punched Jackrabbit.
Wonderful location, and of course, this church is tall enough that we can like see the power plant from here. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Skull's like out of breath. She's flustered. She barely hold on to her bowler hat.
Hey, are you like Crowsman will like reach out and like fix her bowler hat for her. Are you all right? That was really wonderful.
That should be my question to you. I hope. How do you feel to look up in the city like that?
It's better than looking through those weird beady bird eyes.
Then let's keep it that way. I want to do that again. I didn't hear what you were saying, but you sounded really happy.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about, well, this, and I hold up the ring again for a second there.
I think like okay. I want to fact let's fulfill that relationship. This seems like the moment. Is this okay with you, Alexi?
Mm-hmm.
I think when you went up to reach to fix her bowler hat, the two of them are like really close, and I think Skull is just like, why don't we forget about that ring just for another moment? And she leans forward to kiss you.
Awesome. Yeah, and then like Gideon reciprocates and then pulls away and says, no, it isn't fair though, because it's still there, and I'm gonna be gone, And that's not fair to you. That's
And at that precise moment,
Yes.
your connection to your Uncle Thad flares up.
Oh, of course it does.
And you can feel a vision sort of creeping into view. So you get a choice here. You can mark your doom track to get a comprehensible vision, or you cannot to just get something very vague and hard to understand.
Yeah. So he's definitely saying, "I'm sorry. It's a vision. Hold on, and I will mark the doom track to get this vision."
Okay. You suddenly get this sight of this massive waterfall flowing into this massive raging river straight into like this giant's gullet. And at the same time, you see a second river, a river of people, young people with hopes full of light and ambition and dreams, heading straight into the river, and a river of flesh into another giant's gullet. And what really stands out to you is you see Verbrentia the Brave fall into the second river, heading into the other man. And as it sort of zooms out, you see the substation as if from above, where the rest of the party has gathered.
Okay. Here's my follow-up question. Who do I need to save Prevencia from?
Flashbulb.
Okay. Yeah. So like Gideon like blinks back on the rooftop with Squall. He says, "I've made a terrible mistake. I've sent Prevencia to her doom. I have to go. I have to," and then he disappears.
Yeah, you could bring along Squall with you if you want to unleash your powers to teleport with him. Well, portal with him.
I think there is the moment when it seems like Gideon has just disappeared, and then I will realizing that I have abandoned Squall on a rooftop, try to reach back and pull powers. So that's rolling plus freak.
Yes.
All right, purple dice this time. Great. That is Snake Eyes.
Okay then. Yeah, you grab Squall and you portal with her right into the substation, and you can see Prevencia, Jackrabbit, and Esther, walking through the doors with Flashbulb. And as you look over from them, your gaze turns to this enormous 9-foot-tall bronze muscle-bound giant, just sort of standing right over you, looking down and going, "Where did you come from?" And with that, I'm going to call a 5-minute break. See you in a bit. So yeah, we cut to the inside of the substation where Flashbulb is leading Jackrabbit and Prevencia in, and you're sort of gesturing around like oh, there's where we keep the transformers and the logistics areas over there, and just sort of gesturing around, giving you a little quick visual tour. And
Transformers.
Esther, you've slipped ahead of them, and so far nobody's seen you. You're just kind of no one's noticed you yet. But at least one person has noticed Squall and Crow's mantle, and I think when I said that they were like a big bronze giant, I mean they are literally made out of the metal bronze, just to be clear.
Squall, were you frightened at all by being unexpectedly teleported, across the city?
God, you really want to up that doom track, don't you?
Frightening loved ones is one of the things, and I just want to be honest here.
Yeah, I think the sensation is a bit more than she expected. Sure, yeah. I think like when when you kind of came to, like, there's a moment where, like, Squall looks like she's shivering a bit, like eyes are kind of wide, like it's like for like that brief second we were teleporting, like it's like she was exposed to something or she saw something, and it's just
Yeah, and like, so that fills up my Doom track. And with the new Doom sign, I think like as like Crow's Mantle lands, in like a swirl of birds, the birds now all have like 6 eyes, right? Like they're just getting weirder and weirder looking. He's like, "Sorry, Squall. I didn't. What even is that?"
And just to confirm, you all can see each other and stuff. You're aware of each other, just not everyone else has noticed all of you yet.
Got it. So like I'm like quickly looking around. I'm like, oh, there's Prevention and Jackrabbit, and there's a robot.
I am Talos, servitor of Hephaestus, brought to life through the divine fire. Who are you?
Can I roll? Been reading the files before I answers. That's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll superior.
Yeah.
Brevencia makes like some little remark to Jackrabbit that this fellow seems determined to steal Jackrabbit's thunder. She thinks it's rude.
I rolled a 4 plus 3. That's a barely just squeaked over. That's a 7. Thank God, my superior is ridiculous at the moment. Okay, so when you first encountered important superpowered phenomena, roll plus superior on a hit. Tell the team one important detail you've learned from your studies. Okay, Talos. From what Black Moth has gathered, this is not this 9-foot tall robot. There's someone inside it. It's piloted in the inside.
Okay.
If that's okay, Kyle, because like I know I've thrown you a curveball with
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, but there is one thing about it that doesn't quite match what you've heard, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mannerisms don't quite seem right. For like you've know that there's someone in there, but it's something about the way they're talking and moving seems very rote and repetitive, like it's a recording more than a regular person acting in there.
Okay. So at least that tells me not to immediately shout for someone to rip off their arm. Well, last time.
Flashbulb looks over there and it's like, Talos, who have you caught over there? What is this? What's going on?
Prevencia, it's a trap. He's stealing people's inspiration, sucking it up in some giant maw. You're in terrible danger.
What earth are you talking about? Who could steal inspiration? Inspiration isn't a concrete thing that a maw could steal. This sounds preposterous.
And I should note, she is saying all this while she's sitting on my shoulders.
Yeah. Besides, I'm sure Jackrabbit could punch whatever it is.
You want me to punch this guy? I can punch him.
Yeah, if there is a guy. Is there a guy? Is there a maw? I'm a little bit confused.
Esther, no one's noticed you yet. Do you want to sneak in further or ambush someone, or what are you thinking?
I am going to, first of all, pull off a glove and just run my hand over the back of Talos's foot, just to know, is it alive or not?
Ooh, that's good.
So I can, if it's not alive, there's no life force. So I know, I can tell whether something is alive or not. So is it alive?
There is someone in there who is alive, but just barely. Yeah. Your best guess is that they're in, some kind of illness or in a coma or something. They seem pretty badly off inside there.
Oh. Well, that's new. Okay, so I will see if I can offer that being a little bit of life force and see if I can investigate whether this Talos opens in any way. Is there a door, a compartment, something?
Okay. I think you're unleashing your powers to, revitalize Talos a bit.
Yes.
Okay, roll plus freak.
Freak. Oh, it took away my roll. There we go. I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm going to pick turquoise. Why not? Oh. Move over. I rolled 5, and I don't know what my freak is. Let's see.
It's a 1.
So 6. I did not do very well.
Okay.
Mark potential.
Yes, you do mark potential.
Okay.
And I make a move. Yeah, you know what? I think you're trying to revitalize them, and you're pushing out that vital energy, and it's just not sticking. It just sort of goes right past that person, and then just gets sucked back past them. Like there's some sort of fan leeching all the energy in the room.
Oh, that's bad.
And once you've, opened yourself up a bit to put out a little energy, it's latching onto you and pulling out a lot more than you intended. Take a powerful blow.
I hate when that happens. Okay. How do I mark that?
You roll plus conditions, which in I think your case is 0 plus 0.
Yeah, I have no conditions.
Yeah, so take a powerful blow is one of the basic moves. It's kind of the harm move. Yeah.
Yeah, you're rolling +0 then.
And that is 5, 6. I rolled another 6.
Cool. That's
good.
to roll on this one. You still get to mark potential, and how do you weather this blow without giving in?
I think I have been managing control over life force my entire life. So this sucking of my life force is nothing. As a matter of fact, I stop it, and now I have a connection. I'm finding where it's being drawn. So that will be my next action, is that I will follow the trail back.
Nice. So yeah, Talos has noticed none of this, but does look over and is like, Jackrabbit, the young warrior, Talos, servant of divine Hephaestus, has heard of your exploits and your 3-day battle with the dreaded beast, who you did not make out with.
Yep, got that down pat. Okay, Brevencia, I'm gonna need you to hold on for a second, and I'm gonna I grab onto both your legs to make sure you're stable, and I take a run, and because both my arms are filled up, and Brevencia gave me the idea, I'm gonna do a jump and try to kick him in the face.
This is so exciting.
Roll to directly engage a threat. And I think at this point you have probably, engaged a dangerous foe as a team. Actually, that's a question. Let's
I'm
trigger.
not engaging a foe as a team. I don't see any need to fight Talos. I think Jackrabbit is just, doing this to show off, and, this is unnecessary.
You're right. I am probably calling that move a little early. Yeah. Okay, just roll the.
He said he wanted a fight. What was I supposed to do?
Lobster is probably taunting him to distract him, or at least be a general irritant, so that Jackrabbit's kick might land with even more effect than it would otherwise.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lobster is
And
the macaw, for anyone who forgot.
And I got an 11, I believe. Or, let's see, just let me double check the actual. What do I have here? Yeah, an 11.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, on a 10 plus, you get to pick 2. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna resist or avoid their blow. Well, do I want to? Is that in character for me?
Has
No.
Jackrabbit ever resisted or avoided a blow?
No. Why? Like that's half the point of getting into a fight. Yeah, I'm gonna let's see, what do I want to take from them? Anybody have any ideas?
Take the head off to reveal, whatever is human inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take the head off, even though like last time this will probably be even more nightmarish than before if it went like last time. And I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies. Obviously, I have my fight bro Bravencia here on my shoulders right now.
What up?
I think that she's going to be able to take advantage of this chaos I'm causing by ripping off the helm to do something interesting with her tech. And I think this is pretty impressive. I'm pretty surprising because not many 9-foot tall robots expect to get kicked in the face.
Okay, so yeah, you do tear Talos's head off, their bronze head, but they as you rip the head off, they hurl you back into the bank of transformers. So you're gonna have to take a powerful blow there. You're muted.
And Bravencia, if you want to jump off my shoulders onto the robot, feel free.
I mean, you created an opportunity, so
Yeah.
I think we can justify that with the mechanic, right?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what
My
I was saying.
original plan, was to jump off using my size changing device to shrink and have Lobster catch me and fly me to like behind the head of the thing where it can't like easily snatch me. Because I'm not really sure what I can do to damage it or take something from it. I need to like find out from Kyle. But probably better if I'm not like right where it could eat me.
Yes.
Okay, and I forgot to note that I did activate my my move. Unfortunately, I activated my move. I am not my body. When you take a powerful physical blow, you may roll as if you had 2 fewer conditions marked. If you do, on a 10 plus, you must choose to lose control of yourself in a terrible way. And I rolled a 10 plus.
Even you rolled a 10 plus, even if you're ignoring
0.
the conditions.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad I am hiding behind the head in tiny form.
So you lose control of your powers in a terrible way. I'm gonna describe what happens when you tear the head off, and then just give me describe how you react, how you lose control. You rip the bronze head off, and underneath, you see a regular human, young person, Bravencia. It looks like roughly your age, maybe 16ish, maybe a bit older, but horribly like gaunt and pale. Like they've been inside there for days, and they're just asleep, like maybe in a coma, something. And from the looks of things, no one's
Maybe asleep. We have a line on comas.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
They're asleep in there, and it looks like they've been in there for a while. Thank you.
They're asleep.
Yes. And then Jackrabbit loses control of his powers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm going to hide behind them, asleep or not. If Jackrabbit's about to lose his powers, I definitely want to hide. Is there any way I can sense that things are about to go absolutely bananas as I imagine they are? Because if so, I want to stay in my miniaturized form and hide with Lobster.
Well, Jackrabbit created an opportunity for you, so yeah, I think you are going to get a sense that things are about to go badly.
Okay. I guess what I'm wondering is, do I have time to take advantage of the opportunity in a real way before the power goes out of control? Because it feels like that's a simultaneous thing. Like,
yeah, go ahead and take advantage of your opportunity, or do that real quick.
okay, so I would like to try to assess the situation using scientific insight with biology as my focus, and figure out what the hell is going on with the sleeping person who was in the giant bronze head.
Sounds good.
Hopefully it will go better this time than it did last time. I'm rolling the red dice again. I hope no one minds. Oh, well, that's a 9. But do I have like the advantage? Does that give me like a +1 on the roll or anything? Because if so, it's a 10. If I have anything other than just my...
You don't have influence, but there are 2 team if anyone wants to help her. Squall, Crow's Mantle?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'll help. I think Squall kind of shouts just as Jackrabbit is tearing the head, just so like.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
I was using the wrong stat. It's already a 10. Don't waste the team. But I'd like to hear what you would have done. Just fictionally.
I would have shouted there's a person in there, just so like
oh, right.
people be aware. And I'm hoping that I was hoping that because it's 9 foot tall, Jackrabbit's not ripping off anyone's head unlike last time.
Too late.
Okay,
but luckily I got it. Yeah, I thought it was with a different stat than it was, and it's a 10 with the dice and the thing. So I get to ask. What does the move say? Scientific advantage.
You get 2
a single
questions from
follow-up
assess,
question,
and then a follow-up from your brain move.
Yes.
So, are you, Kyle, amenable to slight tweaks on the question when it's...
Go right ahead, yeah.
So, can I ask, like, why is this person asleep?
Yes. I think using your knowledge of biology, you quickly identify that he's in some kind of trance, like he's been hypnotized or drained or something. It looks like some mix of just, lack of food or water and some kind of hypnosis or something.
Perfect. What here can I use to wake him up?
A good jolt of electricity should do the trick.
Okay. And my follow-up question. Are you a good sleeping person or a bad sleeping person?
I'll give you this. You're pretty sure Flashbulb is responsible, and he's definitely a bad person? Does that work?
Sort of. I assume that, rightly or wrongly, Brevencia assumes that if Flashbulb has put someone to sleep and Flashbulb is a bad guy, which I think she has sort of identified at this point, then probably someone she put to sleep is a good guy. Because why else would she put them to sleep?
I'll tell you what, the person inside the suit is pretty young, but he already has like the beginnings of smile lines, and he seems like a nice, friendly person in there.
Okay, so yeah.
Only nice people smile.
That's true. Says Crow's Mantle, completely straight-faced.
Brevencia is very naive and genuinely probably believes that. So, okay. So having done all of that, I am going to...
If you wanted to go after and either try to help this person or go after, what's his face? Flashbulb?
Yes.
Like, I think I'm probably going to be wrapping up the actual fight with this thing.
That is also what I'm thinking, which is why I'm trying to figure out what the best thing for me to do to largely get out of your way is. What I think I do is I grab Smiley McSmile Pants here, and I pull them down to the floor with me and yell at Jackrabbit, "Focus on Flashbulb!"
Okay, and now we cut to Jackrabbit losing control of his powers in a terrible way.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of the machine still like just moving now, mysteriously independent of the person inside of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this as a feed into my moment of truth because we only have one session left after this, and yeah. So all these fights were but skirmishes. Now, when the need is great, you will show them war. Put aside their rules and their fears and put on the big show. Show them that you are the strongest there is and leave anyone who gets in your way licking their wounds. When you're done, fill your exploits with the destruction you brought down. And so, yeah, I think that as like this machine sends me crashing into this machinery, I think we see Jackrabbit stand up and he's like glowing with the aura of the Jackrabbit now. And there's something like different about his movements, like the cockiness and playfulness of his movements is gone. Like it's something else that's possessing him. And he just sort of grabs onto one of the giant support pillars holding this place up and just grabs it and wrenches it free and basically wields it as this massive club that he just keeps bringing down and down onto this machine before he finally jumps onto it and just starts ripping it apart. And I think, yeah, the losing control of my powers in a terrible way is I'm bringing down this entire place by ripping.
The whole building's coming down.
Yes.
I'm gonna form little domes of birds to protect, the people around here.
Well, plus Savior.
All right, let's defend some people. Yeah, I see those snake eyes sitting on the dice tray, so let's get better this time. Okay, cool. That's a 7 plus 2 Savior is a 9. I do have influence over several of these people since I got influence over all my teammates.
I count it. Let's call it a 10.
Nice. So I think like as the whole building's collapsing, these like little like domes of birds, like cover over Esther and Squall and Bravencia and the person she's rescued, just so that there's these little islands of not ruin in the midst of this whole building Jackrabbit has brought down, apparently without really noticing.
Okay, so yeah, Jackrabbit's bringing down the building. Bravencia has saved the person inside the suit. Crow's Mantle's saved, the rest of the team. The random like civilian worker bees in the background. Esther's going off to investigate where that energy is going. Squall, what do you do?
Yeah, don't want to have a building fall on everyone. Well, I think that's going to happen either way.
Should have thought that before bringing Jackrabbit along.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and at least stop Jackrabbit, or at least get him to like calm down. And
I'll
do that
real quick. As far as the mechanic of defend, I can take influence over someone to protect. Can I take influence over Flashbulb? Is he still around?
Yes, yeah, he's still here. He's just, things got out of control really fast, and he's just kind of standing there in stunned shock. And you gain influence as you save his workers and what you can of his building, basically.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, I think then Squall like see Jackrabbit swinging the metal beam around. I think she's gonna reach a hand up behind through the crow shield, and she's gonna try to like create.
Stay out of my way, little wind sprite. Unless you want to be swatted.
Yeah, okay, screw what I was gonna do. I'm gonna like create a tornado to send him flying.
Roll to unleash your powers.
Hey, I am possessed by the spirit of the Jackrabbit. I am not responsible for what I say right now.
Yeah. No. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna fling him. I'm gonna try to get him away, kind of like the same way I did with Crucible. 2 sessions ago. I think, yeah. So this is unleash. Okay. All right. Cool. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's a 10. See, I told you you'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, you're able to fling Jackrabbit away. Jackrabbit, it's still your moment of truth. Sorry.
Actually, can I modify that? Can I come along with just so so it's not just flinging him away, just I'm making sure I'm there.
I think so.
Yeah, like I think just to go back a bit, I think I kind of turn to like Crowsman a bit and say like, you saying Flashbulb is behind this?
He's stealing inspiration.
I trust you and everyone else to take care of this. I need to point at Jackrabbit.
That's
And
a good idea. There'll probably be more left of him if you deal with him than if I deal with him.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that's when, Jackrabbit, you say that. And I think Skull's just like, oh, gosh, and fling you out through the roof, and I think I'm going to follow along.
Does that sound fair, Jackrabbit? It is your moment of truth.
No, I totally want to have a thing where like you're confronting me now in like while I'm like, I mean I'm basically just doing a Dark Phoenix right now.
The classic Avatar state, hulking out moment.
So as this is going on, I wanted to cut quickly to Esther. So this building's falling down. Everyone's distracted and fighting each other or saving people, but no one's paying attention to you right now, and you are still, you've got a great, you know where that energy was going. You can track it to its source.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, and I am dodging falling debris and running screaming people and heading directly toward whatever the source, the draining power is.
So you follow it. I'm not even. I mean, this is directly in your wheelhouse with your powers. I don't think I'm gonna need you to roll for this. So you follow the energy as it goes, and you notice you're following the path of these pretty thick electrical cords, like the size, bigger than a person's arm, just full of electricity. And you bust past some warning signs like authorized personnel only, slam open a door, and inside you see a tall figure dressed in an elaborate coat decorated in tons and tons of crow feathers. Crow's mantle, what does your Uncle Thaddeus look like?
Oh, he's very elegant, right? Like he's got like a real like well-groomed beard and mustache, and like like long-handled cigarette that like he'll have like a bird perched on his shoulder, just like holding out a cigarette lighter, like lighting his cigarette for him.
Oh, and I think I know Thaddeus. I think Thaddeus and I have had some interactions in the past.
That sounds great.
Yeah, he walks on the dark side of the city, like you.
Well, not so much anymore. Thaddeus, what are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? Taking advantage of the conveniences of modern technology.
Conveniences of modern technology? This is not merely water-created hydroelectricity that you are stealing. No, this is life that you are stealing. I saw one of the creatures that you stole life from over there. You of all people know that I know how this is done. You must stop.
Okay, I think you're trying to provoke him. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus superior.
But
if that's what you're going for.
It sounds like you're not provoking him to criminal or villainous action, since you're sort of pushing him in the opposite direction.
Oh yeah, I should be provoking him to villainous action, shouldn't I?
It's up to you. I just noticed that that reformed move.
Did it work? No, I have to click these first. What am I doing? Ah, so that's pretty good. I rolled a 9. And what are my stats in superior? 0. So I have a 9.
And no one's around, so they can't help you. It's just a flat 9.
Yep.
Delilah's there.
Oh yeah, Delilah
You're right.
is there. Delilah is there. What does Delilah? What are her capabilities
Well,
besides making
Inspector
toast
Gadgety.
on? Yes.
Right? She's got like little mechanical grabby arms, wings, wheels. And I imagine, like in my mind, when I think of like Inspector Gadgety, like random things could pop out, like a pizza slicer. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure, of course. An absinthe spoon.
yeah,
If you need
absolutely,
one of those.
with a lighter, because obviously, if you have one, you need the other.
Yep.
I could see Delilah backing up your words with a ominous display of various utensils.
Yes.
Or at least a confusing one.
All right, I'm going to remove a team, and yeah, you get a 10.
Excellent. And let's see. What can I do with that? And
On a 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. That's
Provoke.
straightforward.
Yeah. And you were asking him to just stop feeding off the life energy, right?
But kind of respect her, her claim to that type of activity. Yeah,
yeah, this is my domain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This should be my power, not yours.
Uncle Thad is like, you know what? You're right, Esther. I should have gone to you first instead of this egomaniac and his dreams of current and power.
Yeah, have you seen what's happening out there?
Of course, I caused it, but it doesn't matter. Soon I will have all the power I need to enact my grand plan, and you can help me.
Not at this rate. The roof is falling in. We must do something to preserve this energy that you have before the place is a pile of rubble. What will happen to the energy should this place fall into the inability to hold this much energy? You've got to find some way to preserve it.
You're right, Esther. What do you recommend? How should I do this? I cannot let this power slip through my fingers again.
It's slipping through your fingers right now, man. You should let me create the ultimate battery, the way to contain it and hold it and transport it. You can take it anywhere you wish.
Yes. How do we do this, Esther?
Okay. And I go down to Delilah. And Delilah. Yes. Gadget, toast.
That is exactly how that goes, yes.
Yes. And I said, quick, let's go up to, I know nothing about this, the transformer here, and we will create an energy, a loop. With this energy loop, here, let me show you. Place your hands here. And what I am going to do is I am provoking him to steal the power for himself, even though that's not what I'm actually doing. But I'm trying to get him to do more evil.
Okay.
And I am also going to create a feedback loop that explodes the whole thing.
Great.
I think you're unleashing your powers.
Wachoo! Okay, let's see how this works.
That's a roll plus freak for unleash your powers.
So that is 6. I rolled a 10. And let's see. Oh, come on. Do I have freak? I have 1. So that's an 11. And unleash my powers. Where is that? Oh, well, I guess you just tell me what happens.
Yeah, on a 10 plus, you do it. Yeah, you trick him good. You loop the energy around, and you just huge amounts of power, enough to power a city, flows through Thaddeus, and he just bursts backwards in like an explosion of feathers, crying out like, "Ah! You've tricked me! Ah!"
Did you ever trust me before, Thaddeus? Gotta have a good villain laugh.
Yeah, Thaddeus, I think, is going to throw you a glare and then just dissolve into a flock of birds that burst out, fly around you and just run for the exit.
Excellent.
Do I see the birds flying by?
Yes, they're flying back past Esther into the main room where you all are. You see the birds flying by as Jackrabbit and Leandro grapple in the air overhead.
I didn't know I was in here.
I thought you tackled Jackrabbit.
No, you called my name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Squall and Jackrabbit. Leandro is safely about a century ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah. So I think Gideon sees these birds flying in and says, "Uncle Thad." And then he bursts into birds as well, and just flies after, just trying to harry all of the Uncle Thad birds with the birds that are at least nominally under his control.
Muted. Roll to unleash your powers, Crow's Mantle.
Here's a question: if I actually aim the birds more than I've been able to before, right? Charged up by the wildness of this scene and my intense anger and guilt surrounding my uncle. Could I wield my powers? Because I've taken the new Doom sign Bolstered, where I can mark my Doom track to use an adult move one time.
Absolutely.
All right, so marking that Doom track, and now rolling instead of unleash, wield, as we try and have the battle of the birds here. Yeah, so just crow's mantle birds trying to pin and get their claws into the birds that his uncle has transmuted into.
I think that you can
a 12.
That your uncle may be a bit weakened.
Oh, absolutely! You shocked him good, Esther.
You messed him up with that, and I have rolled an 11. My freak is a 1. That makes a 12 on wield your powers, which is when you wield your powers with precision or grace, roll plus freak. On a hit, choose 1. On a 10 plus, choose 2. Yeah. I gotta go with take hold of something vulnerable to you, right? Just tearing out these wing feathers from the birds that Thad transmuted into, and I gotta decide. One of these options is neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now. Should I neutralize my nemesis here?
You should, because I've unlocked my moment of truth. And if he's neutralized, I can examine him and possibly save you.
I'm gonna try to bring down these birds, right? The birds that are crow's mantle, pinning down to the rubble the Uncle Thad birds as they were trying to fly away.
You do it. Yeah, you catch him by surprise. Your flock swarms his flock, and you bring him down. As that's going on, Jackrabbit and Squall, you are still sort of, I think, grappling, as it were. And Jackrabbit did say he wanted you to try to comfort, to support him, to get him through this.
The world is broken. I know that you see that. We will destroy it with my avatar.
I think I'm barely grappling. I'm more trying to keep him away. He's surprisingly being able to even though I'm keeping control by keeping him afloat with the wind, he's surprisingly being able to try and track me. And she says, okay, I know, I hear that, and I'm sorry, but that doesn't sound like you, Jackrabbit. You're You're arrogant. You're amazingly self-absorbed. You're cowardly. You lie quite a bit. You have far too many muscles for your age. But that's not you. That's that's you're not destructive. You may play hero because it makes you feel better, but this, doing what you're saying, that's not going to make you feel better. That's not you. And I think like there's a moment where like the fatigue of like the day is kind of getting to Squall, and she kind of like falters a bit. So like Jackrabbit has a chance to like get closer, and I think Squall's kind of like almost barely like saying over the wind, I know that's not you, and I know you're not. I know if you've hurt me, you won't forgive yourself for it. Black Moth said, I should cut you all loose because you're a detriment to me. I hope you can prove her wrong. And I think we're in a distance where, like, Jackrabbit, if you want, you can hit her for sure. But I'm going to roll comfort and support first. See if that works. Okay, that is an 11. So that works out. Thank God I added a +2 to this stat.
Yeah, and I think probably what happens is we kind of see the camera with the two of us like crashing into the ground, and Jackrabbit in his the Jackrabbit form is like holding you by like your collar, and things look bad for a moment, and then like the light starts to fade, and we see kind of once again in the Jack voice, Squall, why am I holding you?
I think like Squall kind of just collapses into your arms. I think the day just gets to her. It's just, oh, oh, you're okay. Okay. Oh.
If it's okay for me to impose upon this scene, I
Yes?
have an idea.
Uh-huh.
So as Squall is sort of collapsing and being glad that Jackrabbit is okay, but not super able to explain everything that's just happened, you hear from below, Jackrabbit! Jackrabbit, come! We need help! From Brevencia.
Tiny Brevencia.
And I think, did you want to unleash your moment of truth too this session, Breventia?
I have unlocked it, and I'm waiting to use it in a moment, but I want to use it on Uncle Thaddeus, and I'm not there yet. And the building is still looking pretty collapsy. And I am calling out for Jackrabbit's help because I have seen him be all powerful, and he carried me around a bunch. And in my mind, Jackrabbit is genuinely a hero, and probably has done all of the Brevencia is convinced that Jackrabbit is the real deal and is calling out for help so she can get to Thaddeus where he has been incapacitated by Crow's Mantle.
What do you do, Jackrabbit?
So where is Crow's Mantle now in relation to me?
Crow's Mantle's inside the building. I think Squall knocked you outside the
There are
building.
probably some holes in it by this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll I kind of like awkwardly look down at Squall, and then kind of like hop you up into like piggyback onto my back, and I guess I go running back in.
Yeah, and like Crow's Mantle has like started to reform, but like with like keeping like enough birds to like to be pinning down the like bits of Uncle Thad, right? And if he can spot Esther, he'll say, "Thank you."
Yeah, Esther, I think you know how much this means to him. You caught his uncle for him, basically. Well, you significantly wounded his uncle, at least.
His uncle is a bastard. His uncle deserves whatever you give him. And frankly, if you don't give it to him, I will.
We're gonna get some answers from him. That's for sure. And then I see, so I see Jackrabbit running in, like, carrying Squall. Is that right?
Yep.
Put her down.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's all. I think like Skull kind of like gets back on her feet.
He's himself again.
Yeah, it's fine.
I bring around
Wait, who's himself again?
I bring around a flock of birds and punch Jackrabbit in the face with them. Can't hurt to be sure.
And in the background, you notice Flashbulb just kind of quietly edging for the exit.
Oh, no.
I might say, no, you don't, and then like some birds like fly and like try to like pin him to the wall with some extra birds. You know, 'cause I'm pinning people with birds now.
I think we should put him in that metal suit.
Jackrabbit kind of tore it to pieces, but I guess.
Well, good thing to have someone who's good at building stuff. Wait,
Well,
where is Prevencia?
Prevencia called out to Jackrabbit for help from like behind the thing.
What am I over here to help with? Just to clarify for me.
I'm asking you to like essentially carry me through the like rubble and falling things and not let me get killed by the building while I'm trying to get to Thaddeus.
Yeah, I'll just like put you up under my shoulder, like cover you with the hand.
Thank you. That's my miniature voice. And we've like, I'm going to say, if it's okay, fictionally, we've like positioned Sleeping Dude, whoever he is, in such a way that like.
Wow, what happened here? Earthquake?
Like, it's a long story.
Yeah,
I'll tell you later.
You destroyed everything, Jackrabbit. It's not that long of a story.
Huh. I look good at least?
I told you to stay home.
The energy that I absorbed from making the loop, I will walk through and see if there's any significantly wounded among the staff or the workers to see if I can help them a bit. You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I think that's entirely within your wheelhouse, and Crow's Mantle, saved them from the worst of the injuries. So I think, yeah, between the two of you, you're able to get people out, get them patched up. No casualties, no significant injuries. You saved a lot of people today after Jackrabbit endangered them.
I'll call it a wash.
I think this is a brilliant idea. Through much of my career, I have had to draw from the life of others to do good. But look, I have amazing resources at this very moment, and look at how much good I can do. Maybe this wasn't such a bad idea after all.
All right. So yeah, Jackrabbit, you've brought Prevencia to the pinned Uncle Thaddeus. He's been neutralized, had honestly the crap beaten out of him tonight.
You know, I'm gonna call you Thaddy Boy. I like that more.
Hey, Uncle. Long time no see.
He's just gonna like glare up at all of you. Baventia?
Wow, I see where you get that look
I
from
didn't
now,
realize I
Crow's
was
Mantle.
muted.
Crowsmantle like glares over at Jackrabbit with exactly the same look.
How much of Thaddeus is birds right now versus human?
I think about half and half.
Okay. And since Esther's back in the room, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to recall Delilah, unless Esther is still having use for her. But it
She
seems like
was
Esther has things.
remarkably helpful. Remarkably.
I'm so glad.
Just at the right time.
She does have her ways, and I'm going to sort of toss out to Esther that there's someone who might appreciate a little energy behind the giant bronze head, just so that she's aware of Sleeping Guy. And then I'm going to call Delilah over, and Delilah has many bizarre capabilities, and one of them includes she can make lots of things out of metal, right? Like all of her gadgets, she kind of forms them on the fly. So I've asked her to make a bird cage, and I'm going to put as much of Uncle Thaddeus that is still birds in the bird cage.
Is this your moment of
Because then
truth?
he can't. I'm hoping it will become it. I want to find out what happens. And I was going to ask Alexi, what happens when you're part bird and part non-bird, and someone takes possession of the bird part of you? Like, assuming, like, not kills it, just like captures it.
I assume this is like a lich and phylactery situation, right? Where basically by having a bunch of his life force trapped in a bird cage, you kind of exert significant leverage over Uncle Thaddeus, right? Like
so that is what I'm trying to do. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that was actually how that was going to work before I continued with this plan. So I've taken control of the bird parts of Thaddeus. This is my moment of truth. The bird parts of Thaddeus using Delilah, who is my greatest invention, I think, besides perhaps our toast communicators, and what does my actual moment of truth say? I should probably read it so that I'm. Sooner or later, all the superpowers, elite training, and world-class training are helpless in the face of evil or disaster. That's when somebody like you, gifted as you are with a peerless intellect, can rise to the occasion. Your plan, your invention, or your lightning-fast thought process to save the day in a way no one else could have foreseen. Of course, after you've shown how different you are from them, that distance between you and the others is now that much greater, and the world is only going to pull you farther apart. Checking the chat for anything important. I think it's okay. Okay.
conversation, yeah.
So yeah, I've captured that part of Thad, and I'm going to look at human bits of Thad. I'm having trouble picturing exactly what the rest of Thad looks like at this point, but whatever it is, and say, Mr. Evil Wizard, my name is Bravencia. I'm not super powered. I can't turn into birds. I can't become an avatar of some ancient being and bring down a building. I can't suck out life forces, and I can't fly. But what I can do is keep the rest of you in this cage forever if you don't cooperate. It has come to my attention that a certain ring of yours has ended up on a dear, if unappreciative friend of mine, and I would like for you to tell me how to remove it. Now.
He shoots you a glare, then looks around at the cage and is like, "Fine, I'll tell you everything I know." And yeah, I think that's might be a good time to call the end the episode. We have already run a bit over, so I'm thinking. Steven dropped off. We've run a bit over already, so what would people think about just saving the end of session moves for next time, and then just calling it a night now.
I'd also be happy to do end of session by email, right? Because each person just makes a choice, right? And if that works for you, Kyle.
Yeah, that works for me.
I'm fine with
Yep.
however people want to do it.
Cool. I don't mean to detract from your moment of truth. You've got Thaddeus right where you want him. He's going to tell you everything.
One of the things I'm going to want to know, just to put it out there, both for you and for Alexi, because it affects Alexi's character, is I'm going to try to find out if there's a way that he can keep the ring and use it when he wants to continue having his doom powers, but not eventually turn into a flock of birds irrevocably. Because I don't know that Crow's Mantle really wants to not have any of his powers. I think he likes them.
You've given me like a totally different set of character choices, in the face of this. This is great. Thank you so much, Pearl, and I will think about that in the intervening week as well.
Okay, let me know any thoughts so that I can think about my moment of truth and keep that in mind, please.
Oh, and
Do you guys have an email list?
I can
Let's
send out
start one up.
I'll send a group email out to everyone, and we can touch base.
Good.
Last thing to think about, Squall, is as it's all going down, you see Night Watch show up in outside and, trying to do the usual show up and claim credit thing. But you also notice Holly Veranda, the reporter, who also has arrived, strangely notices you, Squall, and heads immediately right over to you, drawing attention to put your public statement out. And you can think about that and have some time to craft that before next session.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Had a great time, and have a nice night, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for letting
Thanks,
me
everyone.
play.
Fun playing with all of you.
Oh wait,
Steven's
Hey,
coming
welcome
back.
back, Steven.
Hey, Steven. We're thinking about just doing end of session moves over email, if that's all right.
Okay.
Great.
Good playing with you all. Awesome double moment of truth session. Lots of fun.
Yay.
Night,
Alrighty.
folks.
Bye.
Good
Good
night,
night, all.
everyone.
Good night.